Slack and he Major welcome you to the My Type of Hype podcast, where we celebrate hip-hop, not just the hype.
How y'all feel out there?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to the My Type of Hype podcast with me, your boy Slack, in the building as always, and my co-host extraordinaire on my left. What's happening, my brother?
Bless. We're here. My Type of Hype, the podcast that celebrates hip hop and not just the hype. Slack, what you saying, my bro? You good?
Yeah, man. Interesting times in hip hop right now. Well,
Definitely.
what we got going on today, bro? What's happening?
So before we chop it up about soundtracks today, man, I know sometimes when the faithfuls, the ones who always tune into the podcast, man, we appreciate that. But you'll know sometimes me and Slack are here, we're just reminiscing on a lot, man, and we can say sometimes things just don't feel the same. Some things are better in some areas, some things ain't, whatever. But we speaking not too long about groups, like what feels like a lack of that in hip hop. We were speaking about a number of things that just don't feel the same. Hype Men last week, for those of you that checked it out. But yeah, so what we wanted to look at today was soundtracks, man. Like, I just feel like, I think you mentioned, bro, that the hood movies don't really seem to be much of a thing no more. It's just like regurgitations, isn't it? Like they're just always rebooting the old stuff. But with that, we're finding that we don't have those classic soundtracks no more. Do you know what I'm saying? Soundtracks used to hit hard, bro. Like you were about a good soundtrack,
Yes.
like back in the day. They were like
Yes.
full-on albums, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, they were, but I mean, like the feel of them were just like some classic soundtracks, man. So, yeah, definitely something that we feel is missing. Let's see. What do you feel like was the last big push of like a soundtrack for like hip hop and R&B? We're talking about, obviously,
Probably
because all I can really think of is Black Panther.
I was going to say probably the Black Panther album. That's probably the last one that I would say had any kind of hype behind it. Because I think Kendrick was kind of attached to that in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I think that was the last one. I don't think there's been one since, to be honest with you. Because even like the House Party, that might have had a soundtrack. I don't know. I know that Superfly remake bullshit that they did. I think that had a soundtrack. That Future did a lot of stuff on that nobody really spoke about. I never really checked it out, if I'm honest. So I'd say probably Black Panther's the last one that I could say was a movie soundtrack.
A big push, yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting, man. Actually, another one comes to mind was the what's that film, man, with Jonathan Majors, the Western, the Black Western. I think Jay-Z.
Oh, the one that was it Jay-Z involved in that or something?
Yeah. What was it called?
Oh, was it the Harder They Come?
Harder They Come.
Something like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, something like that. Well, that was.
All right. So saying that, then if that's the case, the last one will be that Jay-Z was involved in as well. So the Book of Clarence. That will probably be the last one that had a push.
Bro, I don't even know that one. What is it? Book of Clarence.
The Book of Clarence. Yeah. So it's a movie about, I don't know. I think there's like a black Jesus, but no one believes he's Jesus. It's kind of
wow. I ain't even heard of it, bro.
Yeah. So there was one tune on there. I can't remember what it was that I liked, but when I looked at the rest of the people that was on there, I was like, all right, cool. I'll give that shit a miss. So yeah, I mean, there's gonna be certain films and stuff that might come out that might have a soundtrack attached, but do people give a shit? Yeah, it's not, bro. And it's not a lot of these films that are coming out with them, like no one was feeling that Clarence movie. From what I've gathered, people that have seen it and even chatter online, not really seeing much about it. Jay-Z's name attached, I thought would have definitely, elevated it a little bit more. So I don't know if it's a case of studios ain't putting budgets aside for soundtracks anymore. I don't know if it's a case of people just ain't interested, but I don't believe that will be the case, because a lot of times with the soundtrack, you would have a song by an artist. Let's say Mobb Deep did a tune on the Sunset Park album that was never on any of their albums. People would check for those records, like Above the Rim. You had bangers on that album, or on that soundtrack, should I say, that weren't on any of their official albums.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a space for the soundtrack, bro. 100%.
100%. Yeah, and one of the things I always loved about the soundtracks as well is that I love R&B as well. I mean, I love lots of different genres, as you know, innit? But what I loved about the soundtracks is that it was just a nice medley, innit? So you'd have your hip hop, hardcore hip hop, like weren't no poppy hip hop. Like you said, you'd have go from Mobb Deep, and then it will go to like I don't know, Changing Faces or something. Like
I was literally going to say Changing Faces, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy.
That's actually bad. That was actually bad. But there you go. You know what I'm saying? You go from like hardcore hip hop to some proper R&B, whatever, man. It's just a nice little. You can just let the thing run, innit? So, definitely miss those. Yeah, it's definitely not the same. I say miss them. I know people be like they're still about, but you know what I'm saying.
They're not still about. Let's be honest, they're not. So it's kind of like what I was saying last week with the nuts being taken up off the Ferris wheel. We said about DJing. We've said about the hype man. We're now saying soundtracks. Like, there's a list of stuff, bro. That they're kind of, you know what I mean, kind of removing.
100%.
But I don't know if that's. I think a lot of that blame might lay with us. To be honest, as you know what I mean, the consumer, because are we pushing for these things to happen? Are we pushing for there to be? And as technology and stuff moves forward, they want to leave certain stuff. Like DJs don't want to be walking around with massive crates of vinyl. That go to a club. It's not going to support that anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't think we can solely squarely blame the artists for not putting soundtracks together. The movie studios, are they making films that people want to make soundtracks for? So yeah, there's a few points of blame, I'd say. I don't think it's squarely on the artists or squarely on us as the consumer. There's a lot of factors in there, I think. Yeah.
And the mad thing is, when you watch a lot of these new films, there's bare hip hop in them. Like, even if they're not like quote unquote black films, there's just so. I was watching Turtles the other day. So much hip hop in that, like Transformers. So much hip hop, like old, 90s or early 90s.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So even they recognize that it adds to the soundtrack. There's no doubt about that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely one of them ones, man. So yeah, like we said before, we just pick a few of our favorite soundtracks. And I say favorite, not top, because obviously we can change. And then we're going to look at a soundtrack each, and then pick our 3 favorite songs off that soundtrack. But bro, I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult this week. and this is more to me anyway. This is me. I'm preaching to the choir here. But no honorable mentions. So if we say our favorite 3 tracks, obviously it may change next week, but just, I have a feeling, favorite 3 tracks, no honorable mentions, just to make it a little bit tougher. Yeah.
How are you going to be able to do that? I'm good with that.
Bro, I'm already sweating, bro. It's wet. I'm sweating. No honorable mentions. Get it? All right. Yeah, we'll start with our top 5, and we'll just go one for one. So you want to kick off?
All right, no problem. I'm going to go straight to the West Coast, and I'm going to go for Murder Was the Case, because I absolutely love that soundtrack.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Great mix of R&B, hardcore hip-hop, smooth hip-hop. You even got a diss track on there. Got Natural Born Killers on there. You just got a good assortment of dope hip-hop on that album, on that soundtrack.
Agreed.
So yeah, from the first time I heard it, I was like, that's the one.
Definitely. Yeah, that was on my list too, man. No doubt about it. Murder Was the Case, 1994. I remember in school, bro, like we were talking about that like it felt like a new Snoop album or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Do you get me? I know it's completely inaccurate, but it still feels like a Snoop album for me. Like in my CDs, they're all lined up like, alphabetically. And for ages, Murder Was the Case was under S for Snoop. Bro, and it was only like, I actually thought to myself one day, hey, this should be under M. Do you know what I mean? But it was just, that's the way I think. I just feel like it just felt like a Snoop album, even though he's not all over it like that. But it just felt, just that time was his, man. But yeah, I got to agree with you, man. My favorites off of that, What Would You Do? Like we were speaking about before, the Dog Pound song. There'll be tracks on soundtracks that are not just readily available on albums. Exactly. What Would You Do, bro? Do you know how much I used to pull that back?
That tune is still crazy to this very day.
Disgusting, man. What would you
Everything
do?
about that tune is disgusting. The beat, the raps, everything. Even the hook, like Michelle killed that shit.
A couple of
was
videos for it as well.
Well?
I'm not even sure actually. I'm trying to think.
I think it might have been Jewel.
Yeah, I think it was.
Sorry, my mistake. It wasn't Michelle. It was Jewel. I'm pretty sure it was
Jewel. Yeah.
But what a tune! Jesus Christ. Even I might have to run that back after this now.
Bro, it's disgusting, man. Yeah, what would you do? Natural Born Killers, as you mentioned, and you better recognize Sam Snead, bro. This disgusting, man. That is just too hot. And you know, for me, I always felt like that. You better recognize. Someone said to me one time, "This beat's boring, man. It's just loop repetitively." And I'm thinking, yeah, you're right in that sense, but it's just disgusting. Like, it's not boring. No, it is very.
Like, it's one of them beats that you put on a freestyle over. Like, it's one of them kind of beats.
Exactly that. But yeah,
the Onyx beat, Last Days, that's repetitive, but it's fire.
Yeah, you don't always need to have 110 things going on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Time's Up is a loop, but it's fire. But OC, so it's all right. So 21 Jump Street, fire.
Yes.
Who Got Some Gangster Shit, fire.
Yeah.
And then Dollars and Cents by DJ Quick, a diss track to MC8. So even without the 3 tunes that you said, which I fully agree with, there's another 3 tunes that are crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, just incredible. I love that soundtrack.
Yeah, good soundtrack. And what did you think of the film itself?
I was a bit disappointed when I watched it. It was all right. It wasn't what I was expecting. Because of that, I was a kid, innit? I was like 14, 15, whatever, when it came out. So I was expecting it to be longer. First of all, I thought it was like a full on, you know what I mean? Seeing Tupac in it was a bit of a surprise. He was one of the snipers or something. It was all right. It's nothing that I'll repeatedly watch. What about you?
Same, bro. I don't actually think I watched it again after maybe 1.5 times. It was one of those ones where it's like I wanted to watch it to see. Obviously, the Snoop album, the Murder Was the Case song was sick as well. So you know, it just everything geared up brilliantly for it, innit? But yeah, like you said, it's not. It probably would be described as a hood classic, but for me, it's not something I ever go back to. You know what I mean?
But I don't think it wasn't one. The production value wasn't that high. Snoop ain't really an actor. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't one that I'm going to judge as like a movie should be judged. You know what I'm saying? It felt more to me like an add-on to the soundtrack rather than the soundtrack an add-on to the film.
Yeah, 100%. It's like a long video almost.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It reminds me of Griselda's.
Remember, like Michael Jackson's Bad, like when Bad first came out. And he had that long video that led into it kind of felt more like a lot, like you said perfectly, just like a long music video. Yeah,
exactly. It kind of feels like Griselda's Conflicted, if that's what it was called. I can't remember. I watched it on Amazon.
Oh my god, that
just
was
like terrible. It's not like a great film with that like that. It's just like they've got the capacity to do it. They've done it. Do you know what I mean?
But Benny was on the cover. He was in it for like 10 minutes. That was just.
I have to watch it though, man. I thought I need to see what this is about. But yeah, definitely. Man, you come out the gate hard. Murder Was the Case, classic. You mentioned it before when we was talking at the beginning. I'm sure you expected it to come above the rim for me. Bro, I don't know if it's just sentimental value or the time of my life or what it was, but I cannot tell you, bro, how much I love that album. Like, I don't think there's one bad track on there, and I just think it's such a sick album, man. Soundtrack, everything about it, I love. I think the film's good as well. I love the film, to be honest with you. Not like masterful, like, you know what I mean? But I think it's a good film, man. It's definitely something I've watched multiple times. I think the acting in it is good. Brilliant soundtrack for me. The Free, and I really struggled with this one because, like I said, I love it so much. But Pour Out a Little Liquor, and I stayed away from the Warren G and Nate Dogg because I feel like that's just too obvious. That's just like a, you know what I mean? That's just like a 5-micer in itself, like in a lane of itself. So Pour Out a Little Liquor, not even just on the soundtrack. It's probably one of my favorite Tupac songs, to be honest with you, man. I love that song. It's a repeater for me. Dog Pound for Life, love that as well. Once again, anything Dog Pound at the times I was on it. But bro, the track that I never hear anyone mention, Blowed Away by B Rizal. Bro, that track, so, bro, do you know, I just love it, man. I just love it, love it, love it. I can never listen to that song once, man. Seriously, even getting ready for this episode, I had it repeat. It's just a fire track for me, man. And I don't know why. I mean, I've got the CD, so it's all good. But I remember for a while when it wasn't on streaming, and then it was on streaming, but that track wasn't available. I was like, man, like, you know what I mean? Because
it wasn't
I don't know what it is
available.
about. Yeah, like it's on there now.
Okay.
It might be, I'm not even sure, but there was a long period of time where Above the Rim was on streaming, but
Snoop took all off. That's why Snoop took all the Death Row stuff off streaming.
No, I mean, no, you're right. But there was a period where Above the Rim itself was on streaming, but that song Blowed Away wasn't available. Yeah, okay. That song and a couple others, but it wasn't available.
It must have been a sampling thing.
Yeah, it's there now, though, if I remember rightly. But yeah, Blowed Away, love that song. But yeah, Above the Rim, man, hard song.
Yeah, I can't really say nothing against that. But for me, I'll let you into a little secret. Possibly my favorite production beat of all time is on the album, and it's Big Pimpin'. That beat for Big Pimpin'
is a hard track.
Is perfection. Like I can't think of a beat that has got that much going on. He's got like flute. He's got percussion.
Yeah.
He's got bongo drums. Is it the version on here or the version on Dog Food album? Because there's two. There's Big Pimpin' 1 and 2. I think this one might be the old one. But just everything about that song, bro. Like I can't listen to that song one time. I think that's possibly just that beat, man. It's incredible. The bass line, everything. Just insane. Like I love that song like to death. I've got to go with Afro Puff for obvious reasons. That's just, I remember my uncle was so hype about that song. I remember I gone to his house after school one time and he was just so excited. He had bought the vinyl single of Afro Puffs. And he was like, do you know Lady Rage? And I was like, yeah, of course I know Lady Rage. He was like, nah, have you heard this song? Because I'd heard her obviously on Doggy Style and whatever. I hadn't heard Afro Puffs at this point. So I remember he was so hype of that tune. I still remember how hype he was.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, just incredible. You've already said Dog Pound for Life, which I think is an incredible song. Again, Daz does not get enough props, bro. He doesn't.
No way.
That man has produced some incredible shit. That's one of them. But I'll have to go with Doggy Style. I love that song. I don't know what it is. But I absolutely love it. Kid, like I always used to love that tune. It felt like a proper old school R&B record. Obviously, maybe not so much the lyrics, but just the feeling. Yeah, man. Those are my three, but incredible soundtrack. Incredible.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like I said, I nearly just, you know what I mean, went back on my own word. I ain't gonna frighten the honorable mentions, but even in that, there's so many that I'm thinking about, like even the R&B ones that, bro, yeah, bro. Like, but yeah, hard. Love that one, man. What you got next, bro? What's your next soundtrack?
All right, bro. So this is tough because there's just so much fire. All right, I'm gonna go for The Show next.
Yeah.
So The Show, when I first bought it, I hadn't seen the movie. I didn't know what the movie was about, nothing. So I just bought the soundtrack because I looked on the back and I saw Onyx, Method Man, Redman, Biggie, all these people, and I was like, all right, I'm buying it. So when I played it, and I was like, a lot of these people that were on there are skits. I was pissed because it had like Dr. Dre, but he was only just talking about something. Like it was just a very quick interlude. It's entertainment and stuff like that. But saying that, the songs that were on there
Yeah.
A lot of those songs were crazy. So I'll start with the first. There was so much. All right, so I'm gonna go with My Block, Tupac. That wasn't only in the albums, but that song was very, very, very fire. How High, that was the first time I heard How High. But I bought and that's the original, that's the original Badman version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shit, man.
Excellent.
Time in the LBC, crazy. Everyday Fang by Bone Thugs, crazy. What's Up Star was crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go with My Block, Tupac. I'm gonna go How High, Meth and Red for obvious reasons. And oh shit, man, do I go Every Day It Rains, Mary J, fire. Man, I don't know what my third one should be, man. All right, fuck it, man. I'm gonna go for Live by Honest because I just love that song. Let all the live ones in. Get all the bitch ass ones out. I love that shit. So I'm gonna go for those three, man.
All right, that's hard. I'm trying to remember if I heard it first, what I saw, if I saw the film first or the soundtrack. I can't remember, but the bit I just remember
the soundtrack first, man, because the film came out after.
Yeah. I just remember the bit on the bus, bro, when You God is just dissing Meth. You remember
that? You God is bad, you know.
That's literally the bit I remember the most about the film, you know, like literally that's just embarrassing. That was crazy, man. But yeah, so I had to remind myself of the soundtrack. Yeah, I'm gonna go at My Block as well. Definitely How High, just ridiculous. Like you said, that was the original Badman version, the extra long Reggie verse, and just even though, bro, that radio edit, the MTV one, whatever, is still sick though. Still.
Yeah.
Love How High.
The original, I'm sorry, but no. The remix ain't touching the original. Method Man had to stop Redman from rapping. He was had to be like, relax.
Ridiculous, bro. See, for me, everyone says, you know what I mean, their chemistry is insane. We know that they've got, you know, the Blackout 1 and 2 and multiple songs together. We know that. But, bro, I think nothing they've ever done together.
No, it hasn't.
Is How High. Like, when we first heard that, bro, we was like, this is like match made in heaven. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's perfect. Do you know what I mean?
Eric Sermon on the beat as well. Come on, man.
Bro, and the beat, like, oh, jeez. Seriously, bro. I still remember the single, the record that I had, man. Their half faces on it.
Yeah.
Mad, How High, definitely, man. And probably the Buster track. Not Buster, sorry, Bone Thugs track.
Everyday
on there.
Big tune.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a hard soundtrack, man. Yeah, that's a good shout. All right, who should I go with? I had a few lined up still. Okay, I'm gonna go with Get Rich or Die Trying, you know. And I know I'm gonna probably like sound very like, you know, hypocritical here. Like there's better soundtracks, but around that time though, I just felt like 50 could do no wrong. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Obviously the album. The film was okay. Do you know what I mean? It was okay.
It felt short,
but that soundtrack
it felt like
it was.
It felt very short. Yeah.
I think it's time though, bro. Like now, for films less than 2 hours now, it feels short. But then films are like they felt like they was about an hour and a half, innit?
But I don't mind a film that's like 90 minutes. I'm perfect for you telling a story. Get the hell out of here. I'm good with that. It just didn't feel like the story was fully told. Does that make sense? Like even at the end where it is him performing, like it's not the action no more, it's him like performing.
It's him,
It felt, I don't know, man. It just felt like it just cut very.
It got there quick. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just me, man. But yeah, it just felt.
No. I totally hear that, man. It definitely makes sense, and I think sometimes it's one of those ones where, obviously, 50 had been through a lot up, and I mean, you know, whatever, loosely based on his life, whatever. Obviously, he had been through a lot, but they didn't. The point they started at and the point they brought it to, it was almost felt like All Eyes on Me Tupac film where they're just highlighting a certain period of time, really, and then that's all it is. Like if it was like a life story of 50, I think it would have felt a little bit more better in that sense.
They might have to make it a series. They might not be able to make it a movie. Do you know what I mean? A series.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So the tracks I chose for that one were Hustler's Ambition, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Say No More. That's hard, man. Talk About Me as well. And When Death Becomes You with MOP. Yeah, bro, love that. MOP don't really do much wrong in it. Like, you know, I love MOP's catalog anyway, but when they feature on the track, it's theirs. Just give it to them, man. It's not your song anymore, man. It's MOP's song. But yeah, I thought that was a good soundtrack.
Damn. Okay. I liked Talk About Me, 50. Window Shopper, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And Get Low by Lloyd Banks, I liked as well.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a hard soundtrack, you know. I ain't listened to it in a minute, there was some bad at all.
You can kind of, you know what I mean, when you drop something like Get Rich or Die Trying, the album and things like that, and then you're gonna do like a soundtrack, it's not gonna touch that, do you know what I mean? But when you just listen to that as a standalone like album, if you like, I gave that a lot of spin, man. And I think it's got some hard tracks on there, definitely, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely mention that.
I'd have to agree. Yeah, I did enjoy that. And like you said, bro, at the time, 50 could fart into a microphone and it would sell.
Trust me, bro.
All right. Another one that I really liked, kind of sticking on the 50 Cent theme, is In Too Deep. And I say In Too Deep because two banging 50 tunes were on that soundtrack. I really enjoyed the movie too. Although LL Cool J was doing way too much, bro. He was doing way too much.
Definitely.
Running around calling himself God and
that was love.
I was just like, bro, just relax a little bit.
Definitely.
But I enjoyed the film. I ain't gonna diss the film. I thought the film was okay. And yeah, so what was the song? Rowdy 50. How to Rob 50. But my favorite song on the soundtrack is In Too Deep by Nas and Nature. That song is crazy.
Definitely, bro.
Yeah, man. So at that point, I think that film came out around 99.
99, yeah, exactly. Then.
Yeah. So I think it was like, I can't remember if it was just after what was his debut album called again?
Nature.
No, 50s.
Power of the Dollar.
So I don't know if it was prior to Power of the Dollar or after Power of the Dollar. But either way, I loved Rowdy and I loved How to Rob because I heard How to Rob on the Mad Rapper album before I heard it on the soundtrack. So I was like, oh, cool, he's got it on here too.
Same.
Yeah. So yeah, it was the first time I'd heard Rowdy and I love that tune. So yeah, man. Big soundtrack, good movie. I like when the two pair up like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I had it down as a backup. I was thinking about it too. Same. First song I put down is In Too Deep, Nas and Nature, hard. I think Nature's a sick MC, you know, bro.
Nature's sick, you know.
Yeah. I don't know,
like that tune, bro. Where was that tune you chatting about? I get pussy with my father's features, or is that another tune?
Nah, that's off Noriega's Band from TV, but he killed that, bro. Like he had one of the hardest verses on the song.
He's got some lines, bro. I'm just
killed it, man. Even his album though, like For All Seasons was hard, bro.
I never heard it, you know. I've got it, I bought it, but I never listened to it.
Nah, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's the track with him and Nas. There's not even a lot of features on it, but it just feels like Queens through and through, man. Track Masters, Easy LP, few guys on the production, but it's hard, bro. It's a decent album. Like Nature can rap. I probably would have changed a little bit of production. Yeah, but that's the way it was going that time. You think about Nas around that time.
Yeah.
Things felt just a little bit more glossy in it, a little bit more of that poppy. And I'm not one of these guys. I don't really diss Track Masters because I think they've got a lot of heat. But Track Masters were the go-to guy. I know, but I get it. A lot of people ain't feeling them. But I love It Was Written, and they're on a lot of that. Do you know what I mean? They've got a lot of heat. Do you know what I mean? Especially around that period. But they definitely did have more of the glossy commercial feel. If Nature had a bit more of that kind of more underground, harder production feel, that album would have been spoken about a lot more, I think. But yeah, Nature killed it, man.
I might have to go play that album. I think it's still I still think it's still in the plastic. Like, it's that crazy. Like,
serious.
Yeah.
Definitely give it a spin, bro.
I bought it among a few other albums. I might have bought 4 or 5 on the same day, whatever. But
yeah,
it's just one of them I never got around to playing it. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not like
that's the worst thing. I like him. It's not like I don't rate him or whatever, but I just never got around
to
hearing it. So
I think it's one of those ones. If you play it for listening, you'll be happy. If you play it expecting the world, you'll be disappointed. Yeah. It's one of them ones, yeah. But Nature, anyone who told you Nature can't rap ain't listening. You see what I'm saying?
I like Nature. I thought he was dope.
And it's a shame for me because he started off on a bad foot with me straight away. Because when I heard Affirmative Action,
facing Comega,
right. So I heard Affirmative Action. I'm thinking, the firm's going to be sick. I liked Comega. And then obviously he was out, Nature was in. So straight away I thought, who's this guy, man? Give me Mega back, innit? So I didn't really, but when I actually listened to him, like, he can rap, there's no doubt. But yeah, In Too Deep, The Specialist by Ali Vegas is hard, bro. That as well. Yeah. That's cool. And Bleeding from the Mouth, CNN and Lux. That's sick as well. So yeah, there's some good tracks on there as well, man. So yeah. That's a good shout. In Too Deep. Okay, so what have I got next? I'm gonna go with Who's the Man soundtrack.
I knew you were gonna say that.
1993. You know what's mad though, bro? I ain't even ashamed to say it, man. Heavy D's Who's the Man is one of my favorite Heavy D tracks. Yeah, the track's just disgusting, man. So for years and years and years, bro, I've seen the Who's the Man film. Obviously, I've seen it. Had the soundtrack. Then obviously had the Heavy D Who's the Man in my mind. Bro, for years, for some reason, I just always just assumed that was from that soundtrack. Like, because it was the same year. Same year, same name. Yeah. I'm just thinking, he had the title track for years, bro. Years later, I'm realizing it's not even a part of the soundtrack. Mad. But to the point where even when we was doing this episode and I put Who's the Man, the first thing I wrote down is Heavy D Who's the Man, and I thought, wow, 1 minute, this ain't even on that. Man. Wow. But anyway, so I'm gonna go with what's next on the menu. That's the top 3. Pete Rock and Sail Smooth, Eric Sermon, Hitting Switches, of course. And obviously some of these tracks we say might be on albums, but just obviously what's from the soundtrack. Eric Sermon, Hitting Switches, what's next on the menu. And you know what? Still to this day, one of my favorite Biggie tracks.
Don't say Bullshit.
Bro, I've got to, man. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, I don't really like that track, you know. I love it, bro. Like, it's a repeater for me, bro. But yeah, I have to probably say them top 3 on Who's the Man. And the film itself was cool, funny.
Yeah,
good times, good memories.
I think I've pretty much got to go with you on that, bro. Although I liked Jodeci, Let's Go Through the Motions as well.
Of course.
Classic. But when it comes down to the ones that I play the most, Biggie, Pete Rock, and CL, Eric Sermon. Yeah. Definitely. I don't think I need to say much more than that. But yeah, I love that soundtrack too, man. Okay. Next one from me. All right, I'm gonna go for High School High, and the reason I'm gonna go for High School High, the first one that I really loved on there, We Were. I love that song, man. Absolutely love that. Bro. I love it. I don't even know. There's nothing special about it. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that song that I just love. It feels like, I don't know, even the beat just, it don't feel finished, but it's just RZA in it. And at that point in time, no wrong, man. And I loved Capadonna's verse on there.
He definitely kills it. No
he
doubt.
Just brings something. I don't know what it is about him, but he brings something to songs that I think he's the closest to Ghostface that Wu-Tang have, in just the way that he delivers his shit. And I think it's kind of, he's all about kind of style and like that kind of shit.
I need to stop you. I need to stop you and just say how much I appreciate you saying that, bro. I'm not even joking. Like, it really annoys me when I hear Kappa always getting dissed all the time. Like, even last week, Wednesday, I put out a new Wednesday thing for Capadonna, innit? And you can never put a post about Capadonna without people just dissing him, bro. Let me say this now. I think I've probably said it on an episode before, but I'll say it again, bro. When Ice Cream dropped, and I'm hearing people say that I've never heard in my life people say that Capadonna's Ice Cream verse was whack until Twitter, bro. Like,
what?
Mad, that blew up, bro. I'm hearing people say Capadonna. Yeah, bro. Trust me, but listen, when I heard, first time I ever heard him, Ice Cream, obviously. Yeah. Then obviously Raekwon's album, he's on that. Then obviously Ghostface's album, he's on that. Obviously he's on Wu-Tang Forever, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, bro. And I'm not even ashamed to say this. Them times of hearing Capadonna, when I was waiting for The Pillage, I actually thought he was going to be the one that was celebrated the most out of it. Like, I thought his solo was going to be insane.
I was really waiting for that solo, for real.
Bro, trust me, man. I love The Pillage more now. I think because I expected so much, I felt a bit disappointed at first. You get me? But now I appreciate it so much more. But to this day, I rate Cab. I know he's got some crazy whack covers, and you know, I mean, he's never really. I don't think he's ever really reached his potential. But even when you watch Rude documentaries, Kappa was the guy. He was the guy. You get me? He was the MC of the crew.
No one says shit. What nobody says. Kappa is dope. Me, and people are bigging up rappers that are nowhere near as good as Kappa. Like, I see it all the time.
Mad.
And I think exactly like you said. But the reason I never checked so much for The Pillage, my fault completely. I ain't blaming no one else but myself. Is I expected RZA to do the production. So when I got the album, and it was mainly True Master, I think it done most of the album. I think RZA did maybe 1 or 2 tunes.
The
tunes that he did were fucking crazy. So Run is like one of my favorite songs ever. Just the way, I don't know, he's got something, the way he delivers his rhymes and the way he commands his voice, everything. Capadonna is fire, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, you're right. Trust me. Even you look at Triumph, man. Like, bro, like, just, bro, seriously, man. I just wanted to stop and say it.
All I have to say is Winter Wars and just leave the conversation.
Of course, bro. Like, that verse there was like,
that's it.
Nah, he took over
that whole album.
Nah, bro. Like, Capadonna sick for me. Like, I don't really understand. Well, I mean, I do understand in a sense why people, but I think a lot of people are just hear a trend and they jump on it and it grows legs and it comes this.
And someone said it perfectly today. They was like, so all of a sudden, all of you are now saying To Pimp a Butterfly is garbage, right? Because J. Cole said it. But before that, it was like the greatest album ever. It's groupthink. Like, people cannot think for themselves. Like,
bro, I'm telling you that now.
I would 100% be, on the same train as everyone else if I didn't think Kappa was fire. However, I do. So I don't care what nobody else says. Like, that guy can rap. And, some of the artists I see them say it is this and that. I'm like, you talk shit about Kappa. But I think the reason they do is because he never came out at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else, they see him as like, who is this guy? Because he wasn't on 36 Chambers. And he wasn't. I don't think he was on ODB's album. I don't think he wasn't on there.
Ooh,
he wasn't.
Good shot, bro.
I know he wasn't on Tikal. I don't think he was.
He went on Tikal. He went on 36. The first time he ever. No, he went on ODB's dropped before Raekwon. It dropped before Raekwon. Well, 95, but I mean, it dropped earlier than Raekwon.
I think ODB was around spring. I think it was around March. I could be wrong, but I remember it being
and Raekwon was like summer.
Yeah.
I think the first time we ever heard Capadonna was Ice Cream. I think that's the first time we ever heard. I might be wrong, but I'm sure that's the first time we ever heard.
For me, anyway, I'm not bothered about what everyone else said, but for me, I agree with you. The first time I heard him was on the Raekwon album, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, this is crazy."
Yeah.
So I think maybe a lot of that is because if he came in with the original members, I think he'd be looked at differently. Because I think some people think he was shoehorned into the group by RZA but that ain't the case. Like he was in jail, like so he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. He should have been 36.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad, bro. I appreciate that, man. Trust me. Trust me, man.
So yeah, I love that song. Who else would I say? Faith Evans had a good tune on there. I Just Can't. I like that tune. And Queen Bitch, Little Kim, classic.
Hard. Yeah, definitely, bro. Let me see. This is one of those films, though. I think I've only literally seen it once. The film don't play out in my mind when I think of it.
Is it
Buster on Ice Cube in that?
Huh?
Is Buster on Ice Cube in?
Nah, you're thinking of Higher Learning.
Higher Learning, that's it, bro. My bad. Yeah.
Nah,
I'd have to watch this again.
It's a bit like Naked Gun style of comedy. It's like that slapstick kind of comedy. So this dude goes to a high school and it's all like messed. So I think it's John Lovitz, whatever his name is.
Okay, yeah.
He kind of looks like.
I need to watch this again, bro.
Yeah. It's a comedy.
Okay, cool. If I was to, I know the soundtrack though, but just the film don't ring a bell. If I was to go with definitely Queen Bitch, still to this day one of my favorite Kim tracks. And then just looking over it as well. I like the Tribe track as well. And Next Spot, Sada X and Grand Poobah. I was feeling that as well. This had some alright tracks on it, actually. I'm just reminding myself of it here as well.
I think the Faith Evans tune was going over the Woo-Ha sample.
Yeah, hard. Okay, it's a good shout, man. All right, so my last one for 5 of my favorites, I'm gonna go with I'm laughing, so I already know. Okay, I'm gonna go with New Jersey Drive.
I already know my favorite choice off there. Easy.
Trust. I'm gonna go with New Jersey Drive. I'm cheating. So I'm trying to remember if it's 1 or 2 because they've all merged into one in my head. But anyway, the one of the first tracks that I love is Don't Shut Down on the Player. Allow Scratch. Hard for me. I really wanted more from them, man. It's Don't Shut Down on the Player. Come Around My Way.
They're my homies, and I'll Take Her. Like those are 3 bangers.
Yeah, bro. And it's just like, man. But yeah, we've had this discussion before anyway. They kind of rushed out the album and that. And for me, I've said it before, everyone knows I'm a fan of Shaq's catalog. Like his first 3 albums for me are hardcore. I don't care. They're good hip hop albums, man. And that track with Ill Scratch and Shaq, 1 2 Pass It? No, not 1 2 Pass It.
1 2 Pass It was
I need to get this up. That was Shaq Down. No, that was the D&D All Stars, isn't it? Yeah. What was the Ill Scratch? What is it, man? I've gone blank, bro, and I'm angry at myself because I love that song so much.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't think of the title.
What's it called? Mic Check 1 2. How can I forget, bro? I'm actually angry at myself. Yeah, Mic Check 1 2. Love that. I think Ill Scratch were hard, man. Just I don't know, not much came from them, but yeah. Don't Shut Down on a Player. Obviously, you got to be Can't You See, Biggie and Total. Definitely got to do that. And then I actually couldn't decide on a third one, man. I was struggling to kind of get it down to a third one, but definitely those 2. And then I went with, let me see. One second. Don't Shut Down on a Player. Oh, Where Am I, Redman? Yeah. So Where Am I, Redman, and Don't Shut Down on a Player, and Can't You See, Total and Biggie. But that was a hard soundtrack as well.
So right there, the last song that you said there, that's the joint right there. Redman, Where Am I? Because that was kind of There Is a Dark Side Redman era.
Yeah, 100%.
And I remember I was watching the movie, and they jump in the minivan. And then the dude is like, we need to play something to ride to. So he puts something in and he presses play, and then that song starts playing, and then everyone in the car is like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That is the hardest shit ever. That tune is so crazy. that they crashed the minivan. They crashed it. Like the next scene is the minivan upside down and smoking and all kind of shit. And I was like, bro, if I was driving along to that tune, I might crash the shit too, because that tune is absolutely crazy.
I know you love that era of Redman, though, innit? I know you love that era of Redman.
Listen,
that there is the dark side of Redman.
I was just, the whole time I was like, that song should have been on There Is a Dark Side. That would have completed that album. That and Funkorama. If you put those two tunes on There Is, it's over, bro. It's over.
Funkorama, bro. Like, to this day, still one of my favorite Redman albums. And he produced that as well. That's mad, bro. Like, I love Funkorama, man. It's insane. Incredible, man.
So where am I, bro? That is just one of my favorite Redman songs, period. But I'm gonna go for Benzobima with Outkast. Where am I? Bro. And oh shit, there's a couple, bro. Yeah, I'll go for Don't Shut Down on the Player as well as my third one. But yeah, there's some big tunes on there. Burn Rubber, Lords of the Underground. Check It Out, Heavy D, Jersey, Queen Latifah, East Left, Keith Murray, Ain't Nothing But Killing, MC8. There's some big tunes on that album, bro.
There is, man. It's a hard soundtrack, man. Trust me.
Very hard, very hard. So yeah, man. Just those songs alone, that a lot of the ones that we've been talking about never ended up on any album. So there's a lot of people out there who still might not have heard some of these joints.
Yeah, for real, bro. Yeah,
you know what I mean? A lot of soundtracks might have got overlooked because people maybe didn't like the film or they didn't know it existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. So sometimes episodes like this, I guess, might just refresh the memory, you know. But yeah, man, you brought back some memories, man. I'm literally gonna go and spin a couple of these tunes now.
Trust me, man.
That I've forgotten about. I haven't played in a long time.
So let's do this, bro. Before we wrap up, let's throw out a few underrated soundtracks. Few soundtracks that you feel like don't really get much mention. And if you want to throw out some of your favorite songs from it, we'll run through them. I'll kick us off. I think you know what? Nutty Professor, bro. I think that's an underrated soundtrack.
That literally just didn't make my cut, but I love that soundtrack.
Underrated soundtrack. Like you said, people may just think of the film and just think rah. But I remember I won that, man. There was a competition on Westwood. He asked a question, you had to call up and give the answer, and you could win the soundtrack. And I remember it clearly, man. I won it, and then I remember it coming through my letterbox. The front was all cracked, but anyway. But yeah, I thought that was a whole. Let's not even go there, boy. Listen, but it explains a lot now, isn't it? But yeah. So if I was to mention 3 tracks, obviously "Touch Me, Tease Me." I think that's a complete and utter banger. My crew can't go for that. Def Squad. No, sorry, not Def Squad. What am I talking about?
Trigger the Gambler and the Hustler.
Yes. Thank you, bro.
And DV Alias Christ. DV Alias Christ was actually the star of that song, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Hard track. When I heard that, mad. Those two and Breaker 1, Breaker 2, Def Squad. That's what I just said. Def Squad.
I was waiting for you to bring that tune up.
Love that, bro. Hard song, man. I love it, bro. That's just Def Squad. Anyway, yeah, love that, man. I know we said no honorable mentions, but I just need to say, because they're my 3 favorites, but you know a track that's hard, bro? The track by Love You Down by The Basement. Hard track on that as well, man. The R&B song. It's like, who sings it, man? Well, it just comes up as The Basement, so it would have been Timber and them, man, innit? That produced it. But hard track, Love You Down. But yeah, underrated soundtrack for me, man. Nutty Professor. What you got as an underrated soundtrack, bro?
All right, underrated for me. I'm gonna go for Sunset Park. Sunset Park.
Yeah.
Is, yeah, big. So the tunes, I would say High Till I Die, Tupac. Back at You, Mobb Deep. Big, dirty, disgusting tune.
Disgusting.
And I will probably go for Motherless Child as well, Ghostface. That's a big tune.
Yeah. You know what I'm laughing, bro? Because I remember whenever I used to like beef with my mum or whatever, innit? Or she'd piss me off. I'd play that song loud, bro.
Turn that shit up.
Trust me, I'd never forget it, bro. We were evil, man. I used to just open my bedroom door, and then she used to get on my nerves and just blast that song loud, bro. Mad, but anyway, the memories, isn't it? But yeah, that'd probably be the ones I'd go with, man. Yeah, that's a hard soundtrack actually. That's real, because yeah. For an underrated one, I'm gonna go with Jason's Lyric, you know, bro. Good film as well. Like heartfelt. Jason's Lyric, I think, underrated soundtrack. I don't really hear it mentioned much at all. If I have to pick 3 tracks once again, tough. But I'm gonna go with First Round Draft Pick by the Twins. That beat, disgusting, bro. Like,
that was Warren G, innit?
I swear yeah, bro. Yeah. Warren G. Hard, love that. First Round Draft Pick. Jesse James, Scarface. Come on, bro. Like, say no more, man.
That was on the diary as well. That shit.
It was, yeah. It was hard. And Ahmad, That's How It Is. I think me and you were speaking about that song one time, and I was saying to you, bro, like, everyone always goes to Back in the Days. Bro, That's How It Is for me is my favorite song from him. Like, I love it. Like the vocal samples. I don't even know who the girl is actually, but like her singing on it, just the feel of it, man. I just love it. Definitely a repeater for me. And never mentioned, man. But yeah, I'd go with those 3 for Jason's Lyric. The film was cool too.
Yeah, I don't remember liking the film that much, but that's neither here nor there.
It's more of a I think
kind of
because,
a love story kind of shit.
Yeah. But I think that the tension between the brothers, there's some sentimental value there for me. I think it was like for that reason I kind of enjoyed the message behind it. But yeah, decent film.
I don't know if I remember that, to be honest with you.
Kadeem Hardison, Woodbine, sorry, and that other guy,
Alan Payne, was in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go for an obvious one, man. It should have probably been mentioned among the others too, but the Friday soundtrack.
Yeah.
Ultimate bangers on there. I'm not even gonna go for Keep the Head Ringing because I thought that was bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hated that song.
Dre's lyrics on it are suspect, bro, but the beat's hard. Like I did spin that a lot in 95.
Ring ding dong, ring a ding 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 dong. It didn't hit for me, man. I'm sorry, it just didn't. But I think my favorite song on there is probably Letting Niggas Know by Threat. That was a disgusting tune. And then I'm gonna go for, I absolutely love the intro, Try to See Another Day by the Isleys. I think that's literally the perfect song to intro that movie. Just the very fact that what happens in the film and you're literally trying to see another day. Like, I thought that was
so true. So true.
And I think my next one will have to be You Got Me Wide Open by Bootsy. I love that. Absolutely love that song too, man. So I love the fact that they had kind of like the more old school soul artists. They had like the most happening hip hop artists. They had Cypress Hill, they had Funk Dubious, they had a whole like artists that you would never put together. Like, would you ever imagine seeing Cypress Hill and the Isleys on the same album, or Funk Dubious and Threat or whoever? Like, but yeah, I think that they placed those songs perfectly, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, and some of them, like, as soon as you hear it, it makes you think of the movie, which makes it a good soundtrack song.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
you hit the nail on the head. That's another good thing about soundtracks, man. Just the artists that you're probably going to get on that whole, when you're listening through, you wouldn't get maybe at another time. But for me, if I was going with Friday, I actually really like the title track, to be honest. Friday, I like that as well. I like Take a Hit as well. I wouldn't call myself a Mac 10 fan at all. I think he's the weakest of the 3 in West Side Connection, but I do like that song, Take a Hit. And Mary Jane, man, Rick James. Say no more. So there you go. Look, I had 3 completely different to your 3 for that soundtrack, which is a good one, man. Which is a good sign. All right, I'll throw out one more couple soundtracks that I think, you guys will probably be like, oh, you didn't mention this, you didn't mention that. But for time's sake, last one I'll throw out for the episode would be Soul in the Hole, 1997.
Yeah, I had that one down
hard,
too.
Hard soundtrack. Another one, don't really hear it mentioned much. Like I said, some of the tracks are on albums, but Pun, You Ain't a Killer, Say No More, Pun at His Best, do you know what I mean? Disgusting. Rare Species, Mob Deep on that, hard. And Against the Grain, Source Money, killed it. Source is someone, again, like I was saying about Nature, I just feel like Source, man, Source should have really blown. Like his Middle Finger You, like the album that he dropped, I was disappointed in hard, man, because all I heard of Source in the run-up,
exactly.
like I thought that was insane, like for bar, and like you know what I mean, like his lines, his catchphrases and stuff like that. I thought, yeah, he's going to be a problem, man. And I was looking out for this Source, and then, boy, I was a bit disappointed with that track. The single that he dropped, the single was called Middle Finger You, innit? What was the album called? The album was called that as well.
The album was called Middle Finger, yeah, but it never officially dropped, did it? It got shelved, so I think that's probably what hurt him as well. I don't know if it ever officially came out.
I'm sure it did. So I remember having it, but it was just disappointing, man. It just felt like there was so many radio reaches on it, man. I definitely had it, so I'm trying to. I didn't have it the legit way, which ain't good to say.
I know he had something that got shelved, and I know that was kind of a contributing factor to him, like not being what he should have been, and then he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, it was shelved. It dropped in 2000. Though I'm just looking at it now. It's the only album he dropped, which is crazy.
It should have come out years before.
Definitely, bro. And he weren't even. That was another thing. He weren't on Rockefeller, which I think that's why him and Jay kind of had a bit of a. To do, because he maybe Jay felt like he didn't really trust the movement to sign to something like that. For My Hustlers, that's the song. Middle Finger You was the song that he dropped, but the first song I heard off the album was Middle Finger You. Hard track. I love that track. I used to have that on repeat hard. But yeah, Source, man, he should have done more. But yeah, that was my last soundtrack for the episode, man. You got one more?
Yeah, I could throw out one more. Right, so I had Friday is my last one. Let's see. I'll go for the Great White Hype. As my last one. Biggest tune on there, Coolie High. We all know about Coolie High and how big and disgusted and dirty that tune is. It's just one of them tunes. Like I just can't ever get bored of that song. Like however many times I hear it.
I rate that even higher than Lucini for me, you know, bro. Like it's just a perfect song for me. Like I love everything about it.
I've definitely got both of them kind of neck and neck, to be honest with you. I absolutely love both of those. Which other one would I say? Shoot 'em Up, I liked Bone Thugs. And the last one I would say the obvious, Bring the Pain, Method Man.
Yeah, man. I'm just looking at this. I'll probably go with you. Like you said, most definitely Coolie High. I can't express how much I love that song. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same ones, bro. Yeah. To this day, Bring the Pain is still one of my favorite songs anyway.
Easy.
But yeah, man. I'll agree with you on those, bro. So soundtracks, man. Hopefully there's some there that the listeners maybe are not familiar with anymore or didn't know. And I'll just give them another spin, man. But yeah, there was definitely a important part of the culture, man. Just like albums were, soundtracks were as well. And it's definitely feel like it's something that's missing.
100%, man. Totally agree. So as always, ladies and gents, thank you so much for checking out our podcast again this week. We'll be back next week. We got some real big, exciting shit on the horizon. So
yeah, man.
Stay tuned, man. So we're just waiting for a couple of things, but we're really looking forward to it. So as always, thank you for rocking with us, retweeting us, subscribing, everything that you guys are doing, man. Much appreciation. And yeah, until next time, we'll be back. So from me, as always, your boy Slack in the building and my co-host extraordinaire on my left.
Yes, yes, yes. Peace. My type of hype, the podcast that celebrates hip hop and not just the hype. Thank you for tuning in again for another episode, man. So until next week, stay blessed. Keep it hype. Peace.